Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different for me and a lot different from my usual content, but I decided to kind of start documenting and keeping a virtual diary of my TTC journey. I have no idea when I am going to be able to post this video, but right now it is December 2024 and we have been trying for about 8 months. Last week I actually had my very first appointment at a fertility clinic and today I'm going back again, so I'm going to take you guys along with me. But so far I have had a couple appointments. I had my very first appointment with my usual gynecologist right when we started trying, and it was just a general appointment to kind of talk about family planning, what I needed to know, any advice she had to give, and also bring up some concerns that I've had about my period, which I have brought up on several different occasions, and I just don't feel like everybody has heard me. I have very long periods, very heavy periods, very painful periods, and a lot of clotting, and so I brought it up like, is this going to be an issue, you think? Like, do I need to do any testing as of now? And she basically just told me as long as I had a period, I was good to go. So I went along with her, and then right around the 6-month mark, we went back. I saw a different gynecologist. I went for kind of like a second opinion sort of thing. And just brought up the same concerns and just said, we've been trying for 6 months, nothing has happened yet, and obviously we were very reassured that that is normal. A lot of couples do conceive between like the 6 month to 1 year mark in the first year of trying, but obviously that's not the case for everyone, and I am always just like a worrier. So I was like, oh my god, is something wrong with me? I went back in and it was kind of the same thing where he was like, well, you have a period every month, you're kind of good to go. He said basically come back in a year if things haven't happened for us yet. But I decided to seek a fertility clinic instead. I was like, let's just start the test and let's just see if there's anything we need to know. So last week was my very first appointment at the fertility clinic, and immediately I really love the doctor. I felt like she listened to me, and it was just like immediately we started testing. So I did have my first ultrasound on the day of my first appointment, and she was just very kind and helpful, and we did find that I have a lot of cysts, which I was aware that I had a lot of cysts. I had an MRI a couple years back, but you know, they come and go, so I wasn't sure what it looked like now. It was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. So she does kind of think that I have PCOS, which could be an issue when trying to conceive. It could make ovulation harder, like it's coming more sporadically or not at all certain months. So today is my second ultrasound and we'll see. Because right now I am tracking ovulation. I use the Flow app, which is more of like a general tracking, but I also use the pre-mom ovulation test strips, and I have just kind of noticed that the numbers seem very all over the place. So I feel like it makes sense if I have PCOS and my ovulation would not be normal. Then my second appointment was just a couple days ago. It was just blood work, so hopefully those results are back and we can kind of go over that today as well and see if there's anything there that I need to be aware of. Then Hugo starts his own tests next week, so I feel like it's a lot of doctor's appointments right now. I'm just very glad that they have gotten us in so quickly and taken our concerns so serious right off the bat, which is why we decided to go to a fertility clinic instead of just my usual gynecologist. I just wanted to be aware of what I'm working with here, and if there's anything I need to know, if there's anything that's making this more difficult, because I know it hasn't been a super long time, but each month it just is like a gut punch. It's disappointing, and I just want to know if there's anything I need to know. That's also why I wanted to keep track of this journey and start this video, because not only for myself, but I've been watching a lot of other women sharing their journeys, and I found it so helpful and like comforting to know that I'm not alone in this. And it is a bigger struggle than what you normally see on social media. Like, not a lot of women share the struggles to get to the pregnancy. So sometimes I log on social media and I'm like, everybody's pregnant and it happens so easily and so fast for all of them, but most of the time that is not truly the case. So I don't know, maybe you'll find this video helpful, maybe you'll find it interesting, but I am excited to see where this journey takes us, and I'm hoping it's not a crazy lengthy one, but we'll see. I need to head out to my appointment soon. I'm pretty sure that I wore this last time as well. It's just so comfortable. It's kind of like a security blanket, so I will be re-wearing, and we'll see what they say.
let's just take some measurements. Okay, that all looks normal, so now I'm just gonna look for your ovaries. There is a follicle. I can't tell if it's collapsed or growing, so not quite big enough to be mature. So it's either still growing or it's collapsed and it's mid-shrinking. But it's still a good size, and I don't see any other no abnormalities with your ovary. Okay, that one I don't see any mature follicles. So you usually only ovulate from one side. So you most likely ovulated from your left side, or you're going to ovulate from your left side soon.
And it tells us that that you have a higher reserve, and we see that often in people with PCOS. It doesn't mean you have PCOS. PCOS is really diagnosed based off having a correlation of different symptoms.
Yeah.
And so, but based off your lab work with the AMH being high, and let me look at your testosterone. Sometimes our testosterone or DHEA is high. Actually, your testosterone looked very normal.
Okay, good.
Which is good. Everything else was in normal range. Your thyroid is perfect. So no concerns there. AMH can also be high because you're young and you have a good amount of eggs. Okay, well that's good. Yeah. Ovary didn't really look very PCOS-y is what we say.
Yeah.
It didn't have a ton of follicles, like overload.
Yeah.
But one kind of did. And whether you just have a lot of eggs on that side, or whether it's PCOS related,
it's hard to figure out.
Off symptoms.
Okay, yeah.
Either way, we're gonna treat you the same way. We're gonna do the ovarian stimulation, the follicle, the trigger injection, the ultrasound surveillance. So
okay, sounds good. I'm excited.
All right.
Okay, just got home from my appointment and I feel like it went really well. I got a lot of information today. Last time, like my very first appointment there, it was so overwhelming. Like this is all very new for me. I didn't really know what I was walking into, what to expect, and same thing for today. I knew I had the ultrasound, but I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. Like I thought we were just trying to see like confirmation of PCOS, which is what we did to an extent, but it was actually a mid-cycle checkup. So when I came in last week, it was towards the beginning of my cycle, and then today would be midweek. So they were actually just kind of checking on my follicles to see where I'm at in ovulation, if I've already ovulated, if I'm in the middle of it. But it looks like I actually ovulate later than what would be considered normal. So that is interesting. They do think that it is still pointing to PCOS, but they didn't want to diagnose me with that because there's just so many different symptoms and factors that go into PCOS. I think that's why it's just so hard to get a diagnosis with that and endometriosis, and it's very confusing. But they do think that I have an irregular ovulation, which is what could be like slowing down pregnancy and why we haven't conceived yet. So normally I would come in towards like the end of my cycle, I guess. Like she wanted me to come back in 4 days, or normally they would have me back in like 4 or 5 days, but she said she's just going to have me come in at the beginning of my cycle next month, and we're just going to kind of start over there, and I am going to start medication that month. So we are starting kind of like an aggressive route at this point, which is exciting and it's nerve-wracking because I feel like I have high hope. I have a couple friends that kind of went through the same thing and also struggled with like PCOS or symptoms of PCOS. So their doctor ended up prescribing them Clomid, and I'm not exactly sure. She mentioned 2 other medications I forgot the name of, but Clomid was a third option. So I don't know. I just know that when they started taking Clomid, it was like immediately conceived the next cycle. So that is extremely exciting and scary and insane. So like in the next month or 2, I could be here saying like it happened. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm gonna like cry. I'm very emotional throughout this whole process so far. There's so many emotions that go into it, but being here like at the end of the year, like I thought that it would have happened for me by now. Sorry, I do not want to cry. It's just such there's just a lot of emotions. Treatment starts next month and I'll keep you guys all updated on that. I am supposed to start my period in the next like 2.5 weeks. Hopefully I won't, but you know. So I could be starting the treatment in 2.5 to 3 weeks, which is just, that's exciting. That's crazy. It's scary. I'm scared of how I'm going to feel during it. My friends that have gone through it have said like they were really sick during it, but obviously it's all worth it to me in the end. I just have to keep reminding myself that it's going to happen when it happens, to not like stress out about it, which has been the hardest thing. Like everybody always wants to tell you like, oh, as soon as I stopped thinking about it, it happened for us. And it's like, okay, I'm obsessive. Like I can't stop thinking about it. So that has been the most difficult part for me, is to try to like relax. I'm not a relaxed person. So I don't know. I was very emotional like in the waiting room today, because obviously it's a fertility clinic, it's an OBGYN office, and it's like in an actual hospital. So people are like actively like going into labor in this same vicinity, and it's just like everybody around you is pregnant, and it's just like, when is my turn? They told me as soon as I start my period to call, schedule an appointment for like 3 days into the period, and then they're gonna do like a little cycle check, so another ultrasound. I hate those. Like I am not excited about all of that going on. It's not fun. And then I'll have one, I think mid-cycle as well again, and then I think we start the medication in the middle cycle as well. So I'll keep you guys updated on all of that. I'm still learning as I go here. It's all extremely overwhelming. It's a lot of information, a lot of words and things that I just am not fully grasping, I feel. So I'm just along for the ride at this point. It's been 2 days since my doctor's appointment. We're actually in Dallas right now, but when I was at the doctor, I told you guys that I usually use the pre-mom test strips for ovulation. It is so confusing for me. Like the numbers never really make sense. I never really know when my peak is. Like it's very confusing. And I also am now realizing that since I probably ovulate later, or maybe not even at all some months, that I was not testing enough. Like I should have been testing way longer. So my doctor recommended the Clear Blue Advanced Digital Ovulation Kit. So this is very handy dandy. I just peed on this. So we're gonna see what it says. But this is a lot more user-friendly. You can connect it to an app as well, but basically you get 3 little icons, which is no face, which means low chance of ovulation. You get a smiley face, kind of faded, for high, and then peak for like the full dark smiley face. So we'll see. I did this last night and I got no face. So while I wait for the test results, I am going to take these little prenatals. I have been using the Ritual ones for a very long time. These ones taste the best to me. Hugo's always like, why are you tasting your vitamins? I don't know, but these have like a citrus essence to them, so they're easier for me to swallow. I don't like taking pills. I only have 2 left of this jar. We have no face. So I'm still not ovulating. She did say it would probably, for me, be in like the next couple days. So I'm gonna keep testing and see if it gives me any results. Yesterday was day 21 of my cycle, and I finally got a positive like smiley face for high fertility. So I was honestly kind of giving up hope there for a minute, but it ended up that I just ovulate very late in my cycle. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But also it's so frustrating because I've only been testing with like the pre-mom strips for like the 2 weeks after my period. So we never caught the ovulation. So now I don't know. I'm upset about that. I tested again today, trying to see if we can catch the peak this week. The wait time on this test is like 5 minutes, but it feels like eternity. We got a smiley face.
Wow. I was at work when she got this, so I didn't get to see it yesterday.
It's very exciting.
So cool. Nice.
Nice.
We really were giving up hope though. We really.
Yeah, the day before I actually got the positive, Hugo was like, I guess you just stopped testing. And I was like, no, it's gonna happen.
Literally the next day.
The next day. Finally. Hello from the doctor's office yet again, you guys. I am back. I just started my period 3 days ago, unfortunately. So today is day 3 of my cycle, and on day 4 I'm supposed to start my new medication. So today was another ultrasound appointment, just kind of checking how things were, kind of like a baseline appointment. And then I actually get my medication either today or tomorrow, depending on when the pharmacy gives it to me. I totally spaced on the name yet again. It's not Clomid, so I will update once I have it in hand. Tomorrow I'll start taking the medication. I take it for 5 days, and then next week I have another appointment, another like mid-cycle ultrasound, and then at that same appointment they are going to give me the injection to trigger the ovulation. So it's very exciting. It's so nerve-wracking now that we're actually starting the medication. I'm interested to see how it reacts with my body and everything. Hugo did also get some news about his own test, and they weren't very concerned about it. Everything like looks good, the shape, the mobility, all of that is good. It's just low concentration. So they did say if after 3 cycles of taking the medication it doesn't work for us, then they would recommend doing an IUI. They don't think that we will need to do IVF or anything like that, but obviously we don't know. We're hoping for the best. I'm hoping that we don't have to do the IUI either, but it's just one of those options in case things don't work out in the next couple of months. I'm trying really hard not to overthink things and just remember when it happens, because for a minute there I was really in Delulu land. I was like, oh my god, of course it's happening. Like, I have the exact right timing with my ovulation now. Like, this is the moment. This is when it happens. And obviously it did not end up happening. So I don't know what to expect in these next couple weeks, but I am thinking positively but realistic at the same time. So whatever happens, happens. Oh, I actually just got a text from the pharmacy. So it says I'm all set to pay my copay and schedule delivery here. Yay. But of course I have no service here. Good morning, you guys. I am actually making a little bowl of cereal right now because today is gonna be the first day of my medication, and it said to eat something beforehand. So I'm just doing a little bowl of cereal. It ended up getting delivered to me last night. I didn't realize it, but I signed up for this pharmacy called Capsule, and it just is same day prescription deliveries, which was very handy dandy. I'm a little bit nervous to start it, honestly. I'm always nervous about starting new medications in general, but my doctor said like the side effects for this one, it varies a lot, but it's hormones. So it's gonna be like PMS sort of symptoms, bloating, mood swings, nausea, etc., which is just not very fun at all. The medication is called letrozole, and I'm starting out on the lowest dose, which is 2.5 milligrams. So we'll see how it goes. It's the same type of medication as Clomid, but it's supposed to have a higher success rate for people with PCOS. Anyway, I was reading a little bit more about it last night, and it looked like it was more common for couples to conceive after a couple cycles of this medication. I don't really have any expectations for it at the moment. I don't know. Everything just feels very up in the air. We're just like throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. Oh, and Hugo did also pick up some new supplements to see if this helps at all. It's Conception for Him Fertility Aid. This is what they look like. Previously, he was using like a little vitamin pack from Parallel, but he ran out, so trying these. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, they're so teeny tiny. Okay. Well, I will keep you guys updated on how I feel. Wish me luck. Last day. I am so happy to be done with this, for now at least. Last few days have been a little rough. It's kind of hard to tell from what was going on because I was obviously on my period while taking these, but I feel like this really heightened everything. Like, I have cried so much the last 2 days. I've been really cranky, really moody, extremely nauseous. I'm normally nauseous on my period, but it felt like It was all day, every day. I've been super exhausted, which again, I'm usually pretty tired, pretty sleepy on my period, but it just felt like so extreme. Like everything just felt very extreme these last few days. Like my body is very exhausted. I also had like a couple dizzy spells throughout these last few weeks. It would be like within a couple hours of taking the medication, the dose of the day, and it would just hit me and I had to go lay down. Like it was not fun. I don't know if my body is just gonna snap and go back to normal tomorrow, or if it's gonna take a couple days to get out of my system, but man, I am so tired and like just feeling depleted. And I'm also now like getting a little bit more nervous for the injection, if it's gonna be like that same feeling. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've never been so stressed out about a package. Currently in the middle of like getting ready because my appointment is today. This is the trigger shot injection that we're doing today. So I was freaking out about when it would get here, but they made it so difficult. This is so scary. Like, why do I have to handle this? So this is it, it's in here. I don't know if I'm supposed to take it out of the blue package. Okay, so this is the Ovidrel. I'm going to put this in the fridge. Probably save one of these ice packs so that I can transport it cold to the doctor's today. The medication was supposed to arrive yesterday, but they had called me the day before and they were like, hey, we're setting up the overnight delivery, but your insurance isn't covering it. Can you give your doctor a call and ask if you want to transport this to your preferred pharmacy, if they cover it, whatever. So I called my doctor and she's like, no, your insurance doesn't cover this. Most insurances do not cover this. So just go back through the original pharmacy that called you. So I called them again and they're like, oh, well, now your medication's on hold and they're closed for the day because all of this happened like later in the afternoon and they couldn't get it shipped out until the next day. So I call again the next morning and I'm like, hey, I need this medication tomorrow, aka today. I need it shipped out like right now. And we just had snow. We had a snowstorm. So they're like, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna make it there, girl. It was so unnecessarily stressful. Like, why can you not just ship it to my doctor? Why? I'm just so glad everything worked out in the end. It made it in time. But I'm gonna go finish getting ready for my appointment now, and then I'll bring you guys along to the doctor's office with me today. But I'm relieved, but now I'm like nervous about the appointment.
This is a perfect sized follicle.
Oh my god, yay!
It's gonna release an egg. Yeah.
Yay!
So right around 20 millimeters is where we want it to be able to give you your shot. And that's exactly where it is. So that looks perfect.
I just got out of my appointment. Luckily, it was a quick one today because every time I'm in there, it does not get easier. I've had so many appointments at this point, but I always have so much anxiety sitting in there because you just never know what they're gonna say. And there was, of course, a chance that my follicle wasn't mature enough, it wasn't ready, and we wouldn't be able to do the Ovidrel shot today, but luckily it all worked out. The pill did me good and everything was perfect. It was the perfect size, so we were able to do the trigger shot injection, and now it's kind of a waiting game. Hopefully I do not get my period in the next couple weeks here, but we will wait and see. And actually the shot was really not that bad. I was so nervous about it, but it was this little tiny needle and I have like a nice layer of cushion on my belly, so I didn't really feel it. So overall, a really good appointment today, and now we just wait and see. I feel like an absolute crazy person right now. I'm like shaking. Okay, so it has not even been 2 weeks since the ovulation day. It's been, I don't know, like 10 days. It's been 11 days. You're usually supposed to wait 2 weeks or 16 days, or obviously until your next period comes, or if it's late. But I have been feeling so nauseous all week, like so nauseous, which is not necessarily uncommon for me. Like, I am nauseous on my period, the week before my period, which would be next week. So I don't know, haven't been feeling great about the outcome, but I just decided I'm home alone. I'm gonna take one of these pre-mom pregnancy tests, and there is the tiniest, faintest line. Like, I don't know what to think right now because I don't want to get my hopes up, but like, I don't know. So I just chugged water. I'm gonna take a pregnancy test. I don't want to get my hopes up either if this is negative because it's still early too. I don't know what to think right now. I'm home alone too. I always like watch those videos of like the wives like surprising their husbands with the pregnancy test. I'm like, how did you work up the nerve to do it by yourself? Here I am. This is the situation. I am just going to take this test and we're just gonna see. Oh my god. I don't know if it's real. There's a line. It's a faint line, but there's a line. Is it insane that I don't think that's real? Oh my god, I'm like shaking. And Hugo's at work right now. Oh my god. Am I pregnant? Look, am I pregnant? I'm pregnant. I'm actually 13 weeks pregnant now. So I have a lot to catch you guys up on because I am now officially in my second trimester, and the first trimester was a trip. I definitely did not plan on not updating throughout the first trimester, but those days were rough. Like, I feel like I am finally getting out of the woods now, and it's kind of weird because it feels like it was both an eternity, the first trimester, but also it went by so quickly. Like, I can't believe I'm already here. So let me back up to the day that I took the test, where I was in obvious disbelief, could not fathom that that was real. I actually took a pregnancy test every single day for like 8 days straight, just thinking like that line was going to suddenly vanish, like it just wasn't going to be real. It didn't feel real enough because we couldn't get a ultrasound until 6 weeks, and I think I was only like 3.5 weeks pregnant at the time of the test. That's why the line was so faint, because it was barely there. So waiting for that very first ultrasound, it felt like a lifetime. Like, I was just so anxious about something happening and it just not being real. Like, I could not believe it. So anyways, the day that I took the test, I was dying. Like, I kind of wish now in hindsight that I waited until Hugo was home to take the test so we could take it together and like have both of our reactions, because I was such a disaster that day. I was like shaking, freaking out. I didn't want to tell him while he's at work, obviously. That's not fun, first of all, and then kind of throws off his day. So he comes home. I think I took the test around like 1 in the afternoon. He came home around 4 p.m. But he left and went straight to the gym. And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell this man before he goes to the gym. So we had dinner with his parents that night too. And I was like, well, I can't keep it in any longer. Like, if I know, you're gonna know, and we're both going to be anxious and weird at this dinner together. So I couldn't think of a good way to surprise him. I guess that's my other regret. Like, if I wasn't gonna take the test with him, I wish that I had a better plan on how to surprise him, or like maybe waited so I could do something cute. I don't know. I couldn't possibly wait though. Like, there's just no way. I can't. So that day I was actually filming like a weekly vlog, so it wasn't weird for me to have the camera out. I was like, let's film a fit check together real quick before we leave for dinner. We rarely do fit checks. Like, our outfits in this video are not fit check worthy, but I'm gonna roll the clip here so you guys can see his reaction. Wait, can you hold these?
Hey, buddy. Oh my god. 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 I saw this one and there's nothing.
It's a faint line.
Oh. Oh my god. Did you take 2 today?
And a third.
Oh my god. It's happening. Oh my god, don't cry. Let's be happy. I was like, fit check?
That's what I've been asking. When are you gonna be home?
I'm sorry. You've been dying to tell me.
This is like crazy.
That's crazy. First time.
I know.
Oh my god. That's so cool.
But yeah, my grand reveal was to be like, oh, can you hold this really quick? And then hand him the pregnancy test out of my purse. And that was his reaction. At first, he couldn't even see the line because it was so faint. So he was like, why are you handing me a blank pregnancy test? Like, you know, so it took a minute for him to get it. And he was equally in shock and disbelief, which I know is so funny because obviously we went through this whole process. This was very planned, but we just both kind of accepted that it probably wouldn't work out the first time, that we would probably have to repeat this. And it's just, after months of trying and like months of negative pregnancy tests, you just, I don't know, you just can't believe it. I think probably for both of us, it took until our very first ultrasound to like fully accept that this was happening, that like I'm actually pregnant, like we're doing this thing. And I have the very first ultrasound here. This is the 6-week appointment. Literally the tiniest speck ever. Seeing it made it a little bit more real for both of us, and we actually were able to hear the heartbeat on the 6-week appointment, which was crazy. Hugo, after we left, he was like, did they just play that sound? Like, was that real? And I was like, no, that's the baby's heartbeat. Like, that's real, what's going on in there. But we actually decided to tell both sets of our parents the same weekend when I was 5 weeks pregnant, because there was just no way that we were keeping this in. We were dying to tell somebody, so we had to tell our parents, and obviously they were both very, very excited. Hugo and I are both the oldest in our family, the oldest sibling, so this is the very first grandchild. It's all just very, very exciting. When I was about 8 weeks pregnant is when we told like the 4 of our closest friends, and this is the 8-week ultrasound that I have here. Looks a little bit more baby-like, but definitely a peanut. So unbelievably small, but we decided to tell our friends at 8 weeks because, well, they're the people closest to us, but also it was just at the point in my pregnancy where I was just not able to attend fun events. I was not going out with anyone. I was not going to the dinners. I felt like it was kind of obvious because of course our friends knew that we were trying. So of course, yeah, they were not surprised. They were very excited though, which it's just exciting to be able to finally share the good news because they had heard all of like the disappointment before. The nausea was really, really affecting me. It still kind of is ongoing. It is a lot less now, but that was my first pregnancy symptom. That's the reason that I decided to take the pregnancy test that one day. But it hit me so hard, and luckily I just had nausea like all day. Luckily, on and off, but I wasn't throwing up. Like, I only threw up a couple of times with smells, like when I would open the fridge and there'd be like that leftover fridge smell. Like I was gagging about that yesterday. So that's still that's still here. And when I consistently throw up is almost every single time I brush my teeth. So like twice a day. Not fun. There's just so much gagging going on. Lots of gagging and dry heaving. It's so embarrassing. Like sometimes it would just like trigger like while we're out walking and there's like people around us and I'm like, sorry, I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm just pregnant. So the nausea and gagging was like my main symptom other than fatigue. I have been so exhausted. It's really been in like the last week and a half that I feel a little bit more alive, like myself. I'm being a little bit more productive. It just felt like I spent 2 months laying around. Like I would do one simple task. I'd like do the dishes or I'd start my laundry, and it's like it took the life out of me. I was like, okay, I need to take a nap. I slept a lot. I'd be going to sleep at like 7 p.m., sleeping until like 10 a.m., have to take a nap or two in between the day. It was insane. I was not prepared for the exhaustion. Also a lot of bloating. Like at 6 weeks pregnant, I felt like I looked 6 months pregnant. I was like, what is going on? Like it was so uncomfortable. My pants were not fitting. Now that I'm 13 weeks, I feel smaller than I was at 6 weeks. I don't know what that is. I wasn't prepared for that either. Another thing, I have been totally turned off completely by coffee, which was so sad because I had just gotten my Nespresso for Christmas and then suddenly in February I'm like off coffee. I haven't used it since. Like it grosses me out. It tastes so bitter. It's very weird for me to not enjoy coffee, but apparently that is a super common symptom. Everybody kind of goes through that. So I've been drinking matcha and a lot of iced tea, a lot of flavored teas. So that's kind of what I was doing. I feel like I am liking coffee again. I've had it a couple times since, and it really kind of depends on the day. Like, I feel like my tastes are all over the place right now, but I need to try my Nespresso again and see if I can handle it. But that has been majority of what it's been like lately. The body changes are very crazy to see. Like, now that I have like an actual little bump forming, it is so weird. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like very exciting. You're like, oh my god, yay, a baby bump. But then it's like, oh my god, what's going on? The boobs, the nipples, that's also insane. They're massive. I can't control them. They keep growing. I've bought like 3 or 4 bras since becoming pregnant, and I keep outgrowing them. So I don't know what to do about that. So many weird things happen during pregnancy. I'm sure I will have a million more crazy things to tell you, and things that I'm definitely forgetting from the first trimester. It's kind of a blur, honestly. It feels really crazy to be in the second trimester. So I will definitely be keeping you guys updated throughout vlogs. I'm gonna start like a second trimester diary thing, but I figured we would finish off this video with my appointment tomorrow, which is my 12-week appointment, although I'm 13 weeks now. So we get to do a sonogram, see how baby is looking. We had another ultrasound after this one. Did we have a 10-week appointment? Maybe we did. I don't know. I feel like we've had a lot of appointments, which I enjoy. I like checking on the baby, making sure everything is good. I don't have the last ultrasound. It's at my mother-in-law's house right now. She's holding it hostage, I think. But I will keep you guys updated. I am excited for tomorrow just to, again, get some reassurance, because I think this is actually the last, like, bi-weekly appointment that we have, and then now that I'm in the second trimester, I think it's more like once a month appointment. I will see you guys tomorrow to wrap up my last like first trimester appointment. So excited. Going to see baby today. Okay, we're at the 12-week appointment. We saw the baby really quick on the ultrasound, and everything looks so good. Everything is perfect. So that is good news. That was great. Some little movements. Just finished up our appointment. My next one is in 3 weeks, so it'll be the 16-week appointment, and I'll have that in my next vlog. But saw a baby today, and they are measuring perfect. We got the results, like the genetic testing results from our NIPT, and everything looks amazing. They're measuring perfect. I think they said that the baby is like 1 day off, and we also know the gender, so I will tell you guys that in my next video. I'm very excited. They literally said baby is looking perfect, which is exactly what we wanted to hear. All good news. So that kind of wraps up the first trimester and my whole little pregnancy journey up until this point. So I will keep you guys posted. I'm going to be doing like a second trimester diaries sort of vlog and keep you updated and tell you the gender and keep you updated on the appointments and everything there. So thank you for watching. I know this was such a long vlog and kind of a journey, but thank you for sticking around. I am so excited, so happy. I still am in disbelief that this is my life right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye.